things are heating up in the desert, with two players looking for their first LPGA win. A former ASU Sun Devil with the home crowd behind her, and major champions lurking close by. See how it unfolds in the final round of the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Phoenix, Arizona, it's final round coverage of the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. The LPGA first played in Phoenix 66 years ago. It is a good golf town. Wildfire Golf Club, one of over 180 courses in the Phoenix area. Plenty of folks here love their golf, and they are enjoying the conditions today. Best weather of the week, temperature in the high 70s, sun is shining, a little breeze out there. And let's take a look at some highlights from what we've seen so far. Tom Abbott alongside Paige McKenzie. We'll go back to the first green and Ciganda's start, Paige.
Yeah, and she said she liked to be the chaser, and she closed that gap immediately on the first hole with that birdie.
Go to the second, the par 5. This is you, Lou.
It's a golf course that you must be aggressive on. So many birdies everywhere, and the overnight leader now hitting this par 5 in 2, setting up what would be a 2-putt birdie.
And a one-shot lead once again, but Ciganda playing alongside her.
Immediately answers, this is going to be a birdie fest, and both of these players setting the tone early.
Of course, we showed you the birdie at the 4th as we came on the air, so Ciganda has that one-shot lead.
The right side of the tree too. Take your steering. Okay.
So, joining myself and Paige on our broadcast today, it is the birthday boy, Jim Gallagher Jr. Send your best wishes to Jim. 51 again. Jerry Foltz and Karen Stupples out there on the golf course, and Jerry is with the final pairing.
Jerry, the par 5, there's already been 4 eagles so far today, so looks like it's reachable again today.
A little helping breeze, but I'd have a hard time seeing you, Lou, who's not a short hitter, be able to reach it from here. 260 to the front, 267 hole. But it looks like she's trying to get it as close as she can, if not trying to just hit her Sunday best. That's a heater, but it's a little left of the intended line.
And a decent kick, shouldn't be too hard a shot from there. Good place to leave it. Now over to 7, Lydia Ko now for birdie here at the par 4.
Yeah, just a short par 4, wedge in hand on the second shot, usually if you place it in the fairway, and moving a little bit.
In the middle of the hole.
That's exactly right.
There you go. Gets her within 3 under on her first 9 through 7, so good start for her. Well, the last couple days. First look at the 9th, Charlotte Thomas now for par. Had it going yesterday, didn't quite finish the way she wanted, but this would be a big save. Go to the back 9. Oh man, just hit it too hard. Well, Ciganda's second here at the 5th.
230 to the front, Jim. 237 to the hole. Longest standard iron is a 5-iron, but she does have this almost like a driving iron, about a 3.5 muscle back iron. That's what she's going with. This will not have much spin on it. And the little copse of trees and brush that separates the 2 optional fairways for the second shot here blocks out the player's view of the green. And the commentators.
Yeah, that's always a trick. You just try to find something. That's the hard part, Paige, when you play in the desert, finding somewhere to pick as a target in the background.
A lot of times if you used to playing tree lines courses, it's a lot easier. Desert golf, a little more wide open in the distance.
Just want to keep this a little right of the flag stick. You're going to be fine. That's a high, soft-looking fade from a downhill lie with a 3-iron.
Well, while we have a moment, let's meet our final pairing.
Hi, I'm Carlota Ciganda and I am from Spain. I went to Arizona State and I'm very proud of it. Go Devils!
Hi, I'm Yu Liu from China. Fun facts about myself is I can eat a lot. Usually at player dining, I can crush 4 plates.
4 plates?
That's more than me and you combined. Sung Yoon Park now makes birdie at 7.
4 plates? Well, when you're burning a lot of energy out there, you gotta get some fuel. Yu Lu likes her food here at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. She's one behind Carlota Ciganda, Sunday in Phoenix.
Hello, I'm Kevin Kim, President and CEO of Bank of Hope. The Founders Cup honors the 13 visionary women who established the LPGA in 1950. Like the LPGA, Bank of Hope was founded by visionaries to serve the financial needs of an emerging community, and today is one of the leading Asian American banks in the country. Given the similarities in our spirits and values, it is our extreme pleasure to be the title sponsor to a tournament that pays tribute to such visionaries. And we are especially proud that the Founders Cup tournament proceeds are donated to the LPGA USGA Girls Golf Program. I sincerely hope you enjoy the 2019 Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Thank you.
Each moment as you enjoy the game, we are focused on making sure your business stays on the right course. Proud financial partner to your business and the title sponsor of the 2019 Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Bankers, experts, neighbors. Bank of Hope.
Carlota Ciganda's third shot here at the par 5 fifth.
Green's slopes slightly toward her, except right at the edge. A little bit of a downslope right at the edge, Jim.
This was just a moment ago and a bit unlucky. Very unlucky, actually. That left Jin Young Ko for birdie here at the 7th. Watched her all week. Paige has left the flag stick in no matter the distance. Just to get to 18 under, be within 3. It's working.
You know, some players just feel like it gives them a little bit of comfort to have something there inside the hole. And she's finding her comfort zone right now.
Absolutely. It's birdie now. Yu Lu here at the 5th.
Pretty basic little shot there. She had designs on making it.
He almost recoiled a little bit on that follow through.
Yeah, that wasn't the cleanest contact.
Move on up to 18.
Harriet Jutanagan on the final hole. She had it going today, Paige, but that is a bogey at 18.
You really need all things working when the scores are this low out here.
Finishes with a round of 67. And still inside at the moment, the top 15.
7 Nelly Korda for birdie. This to get to minus 17 would only be 4 back. Pretty basic putt from here. Yeah, good stroke. Should make birdie at the 7th. Over to 5 Ciganda for her bird. Missy Kay had sent me a text that Carlota has spent a lot of time on their new practice facility, especially on her short game, getting ready for this event.
Well, it looks like it's paid off. The only really scratchy putting day she had was round 2, where she hit the ball extremely well and only shot 69, which out here doesn't feel that good. But I was talking to Terry McNamara today and asking him how she keeps that chaser's mentality when she's hitting it well like she had yesterday and take that into the final group. And he said, you know what, just try to keep her focused one shot at a time, doing what she's doing well. And maybe not start thinking about the trophy till it's a little later in the round.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. That's some great advice. It's real easy to get ahead of yourself. Brooke Henderson for birdie here at the 11th.
Not much in this putt. Might move a little to her left.
Ah, nice stroke. That Canadian following here. A lot of folks spend the winners down here. Good start to 33 on the front. A birdie at 11 gets her to 16 under. Sneak back over to 5. Yu Lu now has a little bit of work left for her birdie.
More than you would have thought from that little basic pitch shot. Yes, this one's slightly uphill. Very little movement. Might just be a left center putt by my read. Player here, Jimmy, that I have really enjoyed getting to know the last year and a half. She is so personable, so much fun. Has a little swagger to her walk, a very laid-back, almost Southern California feel to her attitude, and she's quite funny.
Yeah, she said she wasn't comfortable in that final group pairing. The last couple of times she didn't do very well, but she did pretty good yesterday. And that got in there. That was a little bit shaky, a little bit like the chip shot, but nonetheless, it went in the hole, Tom.
So we've got a tie at the top once again.
Very good.
Ciganda
Don't think about the way
Lu battling away here at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. As we welcome you inside our booth here at Wildfire Golf Club, Tom Abbott and Paige McKenzie. Jim alluded to it, didn't he? How important that was for you, Lu, on Saturday, playing alongside Sun Hyun Park. What were your thoughts on the way she handled herself?
Not only was she playing well all day long, how she finished off the round. She's playing with the #1 player in the world, a titan in the game, a player that's incredibly popular in Korea, and she knows this, and she goes out and she shoots 4 under on her last 4 holes. To me, that speaks to the kind of gumption she has, the kind of intensity that she can have in those moments where you wouldn't expect that from a second-year LPGA Tour player.
Carlota Ciganda, different story. She has a lot of experience out here, 2 wins. She's now up to 11th in the world. How good can she be? And a win here, what would that mean for her in terms of her standing on the LPGA Tour?
You know, one of the things that differentiates Carlota from other players on the LPGA Tour is the amount of compression that she gets in the golf ball. What that does, it creates a little bit more spin. It gives her a little bit more shot making. She has more tools in her bag than some of the other players, as well as having some incredibly soft hands around the greens. The one thing that I think's held her back is just a little bit inconsistency. She loves to take the driver, sometimes misses too many fairways, and the putting's kind of come and gone throughout her career. So I think if she can stabilize the inconsistencies, she has continued chance to get better and better in that world ranking.
Ciganda and Lu tied at 21 under par, and a nice cushion right now between these two and a lot of big name players. The Coes, you've got Park, Korda, Brooke Henderson. At the moment, they've got a big enough gap where there's a bit of comfort, Jerry.
Yeah, and they both seem kind of oblivious to it at the moment. And I think that's one good thing for each of them. Neither one has a big lead. They're going to be able to just push each other to continue trying to beat each other. It's almost like, I heard the analogy from our producer this morning, it's almost like a Stableford tournament. If you're tied and you have holes left, you're technically leading because you're going to make birdies. And so if these two can continue to push each other, then it is just going to be a 2-horse race late in the day. 6-iron here for you, Lu. Well, you don't want to go left here. That started on an aggressive line.
Just needs to sit down. That's our producer, Jesse West, who enjoys Stableford because when he makes bogeys, he doesn't lose any points.
I'm not going to say any comment on that, Tom.
Amy Yang on the tee at the 14th. Just a moment to go.
Location just 11 paces on. You want to land it just over the front fringe.
All over it.
Yeah, could have judged that much better.
Amy Yang, 3 under for the day. She's back in tie for 15th at the moment at 14 under, alongside Ari Jutanagan, who we saw finish up a short while ago. Ciganda now on the tee at 6.
And Carlota going with a 7-iron, 180 yards, plays a little bit downhill. We are at maybe 1,700 feet of altitude, dry air, so the ball does go a long ways here, but that's a big 7-iron. A lot of clubhead speed, as Paige referenced. Likes to hit that fade, can easily hit the draw. And you would think, Paige, this hole sets up for a draw, but if you get something turning over on this wind, it might never stop.
Yeah, and if you fly it all the way kind of to the top of that ridge, it'll end up in that back fringe. So it might be best to be a little bit conservative with your distance off this tee.
This is anything but conservative.
Well, she was staring it down.
Not a bad leave, though. That is a great shot.
That's why she's fun to watch.
Without question, Tom.
going right at it. And a birdie chance potentially on the way. Today's coverage is brought to you by Bank of Hope. Bankers, experts, neighbors. Win Grips, the best grips in golf. And by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. Back on the par 3, sixth here, the final round of the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Yu Liu and Carlota Ciganda tied for the lead at 21 under par. This is Yu Liu for birdie.
It doesn't look like a very complicated putt. No real contours to deal with, other than it's gently downhill the whole way, leaving the flagstick in, which is something we're seeing a lot less of on the LPGA Tour than we are on the male counterpart side.
Steady. It's time for our course setup, presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. And Paige, tell us about this golf course.
Well, it is actually made up of 2 different golf courses here on location. We have the Palmer course, which plays as the front 9, the first 9 for the women this week, and the Faldo course, a little bit more generous off of the tee, that plays as the back 9. It's a good combination of the 2, and you'll notice the overseed in the fairways, but the rough off of the fairways are kind of a dormant Bermuda, maybe a different look if you're not familiar with this kind of area.
And now back out to Carlota Ciganda, who is familiar with this area, having gone to school here, played for Arizona State.
Good look here. A bit of a slice putt, though, turning right the whole way.
Talked, Paige, about this club being the difference maker for Carlota, certainly down the stretch yesterday, the way she finished.
Even some of the putts she's made today, excellent rolls. You can see her walking in a little bit early. She knows right away. That's the thing. She can be a little bit streaky with different clubs in her bag, and when she's hot, and is as fun to watch as anybody on the LPGA Tour.
Lydia Ko here at the 9th par 4, Karen.
Ideal drive down here today, slightly down the left side. And I think this one is going to do just that.
Sure looks like that. Yep, this whole location on that left side today. 15 steps on, 5 from the left. Let's go back to 6.
Yu Liu just clearing up her par.
A little bit of work here. Certainly don't want to jinx her, but she has had 3 3-putts this week, the most of any of the contenders going into the final round. Also 6 bogeys for the week, which is by far the most of any of the contenders. Easy one there, though, Tom, despite the commentary.
Well, back in 2009, when she was just 13 years of age, she was invited to attend the HSBC Women's World Championship as part of the HSBC Junior program. And she played in the Pro-Am, had a chance to meet many different players, including Lorena Ochoa. And there is Yu Liu with Lorena. Yu Liu said that week it gave her the knowledge of what it's like to play as a professional golfer, and inspired her to get on the road to the LPGA. And she did exactly that, playing junior golf, collegiate golf at Duke, then Symetra Tour, and now her 2nd year on the LPGA. Haru Nomura for a birdie at 18. Japanese player who had a breakout season a couple of years ago. And it's going to be a round of 69 for Haru, who had a great start today. Eagle at the 5th hole, got it to 12 under par, and that is where she finishes.
Ju Kim now for birdie here at the 7th. Seen a lot of putts made from this part of the green.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of movement.
No.
Jim, kind of one of the flat areas. A lot of these greens can be a little bit deceptive. because of the general slope of the terrain in this area, it may deceive your eyes based on what you feel with your feet, but people have been able to read this putt pretty well.
Yeah, 3 wins on the LPGA, 10 in Korea, 5th so far this season, her best. Really a solid player. And a solid putt for birdie. Yeah, pretty straightforward putt. These greens are so good. We've been out on them, and they're just so pure. You feel like you can make every putt you hit. And that's a great feeling to have. Lydia Ko now, her second at the 9th, Karen.
Well, she's got 148 to the hole. It is slightly into the wind off the right, but really accessible from where Lydia is right now.
She's at 5 of 8 greens, so really choking down on this one.
She kind of has been doing that quite a bit though recently, Jim. Likes to grip down, much like Brooke Henderson does.
And that's working, whatever she's doing. And another good chance for birdie, Tom.
Yeah, good chance for birdie. She needs to make some birdies. Put a little more pressure on those 2 players at the top of the leaderboard. Still that cushion, that 3-shot gap between Ciganda and Liu and the rest of the field. Some low scoring in today. Su Oh rounding 64.
They say practice makes perfect, but only if you have the confidence to pull off the shots under pressure. I work hard, so I don't have to think about my swing. You have to trust your gut. When I won my first major, it went to sudden death. I stayed in the moment and went for it. I was able to hit the shot that I will remember for the rest of my life. It was all about instinct.
Sun Yoon Park's second here at the 9th. A little bit of trouble. Got her over in the desert. It's tough to judge what it's going to do. Oh my. Trouble continues. It's getting worse. That is some serious trouble. Back over to 8.
Jin Young Ko is one of those players that leaves the flagstick in on all putts. Okay. Jin Young chasing her 3rd LPGA Tour victory. Caddy Dave Brooker on the back, very experienced caddy. Caddy for Lorena Ochoa during the height of her career.
Yu Liu will be next here at the 7th.
66.
You know, she played her college golf at Duke, just played 1 year, was on the NCAA championship team. You know, it's amazing. A role model, of course, Shen Shen Feng, and that's a great role model to have. People's Republic of China, if she would win this week, would be only the 2nd player from there. Only 2 players, though, in that great program they had at Duke have won on the LPGA, and that's always surprising. She would, you've got Boudier and you've got Lang, so that's always surprising. They've always had a great team there. Of course, her 2nd year on tour. Best finished 3rd at the Volunteers of America, so trending in the right direction. It's been really solid so far this week, Jerry.
Maybe a couple more because of the wind. Yeah? You good with 67? Yeah.
Fun to watch as well, Jim. She loved the fact, this is on a little bit lighter note, but we interviewed her at the Women's British Open last year, and our producer decided to play the theme song to the theme music to Faraday Show when we introduced her. Yoo-hoo! And she just absolutely cracked up.
Wow,
I think it's hilarious. 66 yards here, and without the breeze that's into them, this would be nearly impossible to get close, but that breeze can really help you get the lob wedge to sit down quietly. Clipped it nicely, flying at least hole high.
Yeah, he's there. Came back a little bit off that slope, so good chance for birdie.
This is almost all of the chasers have birdied that are following, or that are ahead of this final pairing, so.
Yeah, we mentioned Ciganda, of course, played her college golf here at Arizona State. Missy Kay was in with the team this week, and you know, part of that 2009 NCAA championship team. She had 5 wins in college, and feels comfortable, Jerry. And I think when you're making birdies, she likes to play aggressive. This is a great way for her, great tournament for her. Finally kind of got over the hump here on this golf course. It's kind of struggled in the past.
Yeah, I think her game equates better to tougher courses, as dynamic as a ball striker she is, but she does love going low. 59 yards. Oh, trap that a little.
Yeah, I got a little lucky off the slope. Just missed the ball.
Oh, get a free read as well.
Yeah, things are happening.
And talk about the comfort level playing here in the Valley of the Sun. We asked her what it would mean to get her first win on American soil here in the Phoenix area.
Phoenix is very special to me. I came to college here 10 years ago, and I spent three years at ASU, and it was just great. I mean, I have such great memories. I love Phoenix, I love ASU, and it will be very, very special.
And Paige, you talked about players playing here in this desert environment. It's not always easy to get used to.
No, I think some of it's the visual. I grew up in desert golf, so I didn't mind some of the holes that didn't have tree-lined fairways. But if you are a visual person seeing shapes and need that from an architect, then it can be a difficult transition.
This is Hyo-Joo Kim, second at the 8th. Major champion, winner of the Evian Championship.
One of the hardest holes on the golf course. This pin on the top ridge, so pin high, doesn't have to navigate that ridge, but still going to be a pretty swinging putt.
Back at the 7th. A couple good chances for birdie. It looks like Yu-Lu will be first, though.
She will. Taking a look at her greens book. And I think one of the benefits of the rule change with the greens book is the players don't study it nearly as much as they did before. I'm not completely up to speed with what the changes were, but basically it's less detailed and less, and for you and I can't read it with the naked eye.
No, or understand it for that matter half the time. I mean, I think it takes away the art of green reading sometimes with the books. And I mean, it's great, you can make your own notes, but sometimes you just have to, play by feel the ground with your feet. That's part of reading the green. Find out where the drains are. Find out where the grain is. There's very little grain, of course, in this series, and it just takes a little of that art away.
Well, all putts break downhill.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple when you break it down to nuts and bolts. This one, the downhill where she's standing looks like the ball's slightly above her feet, so you think it'll go a little left early and then might just flatten back out.
Yeah, most putts have done that. Just to get to 22 under. Solo lead.
Nice. Held the finish. Delayed look at the hole, which means she hit it where she wanted to.
Maybe a little tentative coming down that slope, but have that left for par.
This is for birdie here.
She's playing ready golf, just playing out of turn because Sonningham Park is taking a drop.
Now, Ciganda should have got a pretty good read off that putt, Jerry.
Should have been perfect, absolutely. And I'm sensing a good deal of confidence she's feeling with her putting. When she starts doubting herself, she gets what I call the stutter step, where she starts walking into the ball and then stops and backs up, and she's doing that a little bit on the full shots right now. But on the putting, it is significantly faster, the entire routine.
Yeah, the 2 putts she missed were left to right. Of course, as you said, this one's going a little more left, so maybe a little more comfortable, which most right-handers are.
Ciganda with the birdie to edge ahead to 22 under par. Ciganda hasn't maybe won as many times on tour as you might think. Tony Finau could be in that same category. His first set of clubs were far from a full set. In this clip from tomorrow's episode of Ferrety, he talks about his unusual beginning with equipment.
What sort of equipment were you using?
Secondhand store equipment. Yeah, so we got our first set from, it was all different types of clubs, but just from like basically a Salvation Army place. I was getting like one club at a time, just meaning every few months we would add a club, you know, to my set. So I would show up to tournaments sometimes, and some of the kids would, you know, are you, you know, what are you using? You know, I've got Titleist this, and I've got the new shaft and all these things, and I would be clueless about what they were talking about. Whatever we had, whatever we could scrounge together, were the clubs that we played with for the first handful of years I played golf.
The all-new episode of Faraday with Tony Finau will premiere tomorrow night at 9 Eastern on Golf Channel.
Karen, this is par for par. We saw her second shot come bouncing off the cart path.
Well, she had a choice. She could either go to the drop zone, which would have left her a really nasty shot from the desert, sandy lie over the bunker. But she decided to take just a club length relief away from the temporary movable obstruction, and ended up playing a pretty decent shot to here from the desert. Never easy to judge. This putt's going to break left, or it should do, but that one...
Ooh. Wow.
That was a bit of an explosion off the club face.
Not sure what happened there. And that left for bogey. Now over at 11, Charlotte Thomas for birdie. This to get to 16 under. 3 birdies and a bogey in the front, so a nice putt. Good birdie at the par 5. Lots of birdies today on this hole. Very accessible hole location. Brooke Henderson for birdie here at the 13th. Our first look here. Just to get to minus 17. Paige, you get in one of these birdie fests, you just feel like you got to make these putts.
Yeah, especially on these short par 4s. You've got a wedge in your hand. I don't think she wanted a birdie putt that long, no. But she'll take it any way she can get it.
Yeah, 5 birdies in her card so far today, so gets her to 17 under, just 5 back. Might run out of holes. Now park for bogey here at 9, Karen.
Yeah, and really it was a bit unlucky with the tee shot, just to run through into the desert and ended up with a horrible lie, which caused that shot left. But really could do with making this one now, just dropping one. But as every hole passes, she's getting further and further away from the lead.
Yeah, you just can't really feel like you're making bogeys when you're chasing, and now doubles. We mentioned yesterday, missed a couple putts, lip out, and kind of her body language changed. Usually stays pretty stoic, but, you know, just maybe trying a little bit too hard, forcing the issue. That could happen. It's double at the 9th. Back to 8.
It's been 3 years, over 3 years now, since Hyo-Joo Kim last won on the LPGA Tour. To go back to the Bahamas in 2016. Hyo-Joo trying to draw one there at the 8th.
You know, and to Jim's point, you want to be aggressive and feel like you can make birdies, but you don't want to be pressing and pushing. I think that's a delicate balance for a lot of players.
Yeah, now at the par 5 11th for Eagle, Jessica Korda. So a lot can happen as we get to this back 9, and this is one of those holes. Tracking. Yeah! Makes an Eagle. Except for those couple bogeys, but a little bit going on that scorecard. Gets her to 17 under, just 5 back.
It was such a beautiful morning today that some of our crew decided to get into a hot air balloon. It was so beautiful up there.
Not me.
Not you though, Jim. You were safely on Mother Earth.
Back at the 9th hole, Nelly Korda from the middle of the fairway. This just a moment ago, her second shot. 3 birdies and a bogey in her card.
A green light special, 15 paces on, plenty of green to work with as these greens firm out in the desert sun.
Oh, nice.
It's been an incredible year so far for Nelly Korda. A 3rd, a 1st, a 7th, and a 10th. And that takes her to the top in the race to the CME Globe in the early part of this season. The race to the CME Globe will determine the players who qualify for the season-ending event, the CME Group Tour Championship, where we will see the biggest first prize in the history of women's golf, $1.5 million, courtesy of the CME Group. And this will be an interesting race. Sarah Kemp, by the way, 10th after a great start to the season, but couldn't get into the field here this week.
she'll be looking forward to the reshuffle.
Yes.
Left fork, the base of the left fork right there, and just let it go. It's perfect.
That's Ciganda's lie at the 8th, mostly slightly in.
Probably about 230. Yep. I love it. I think that's it.
It helps when somebody with 80-something wins on the bag for LPGA player says, I love that club. Carlota's lie looks worse than it is, actually sitting quite nicely. Just narrowly missed what appears to be a replaced divot, but it's sitting on terra firma. 156 to the hole. Slight downhill lie, but not too bad. This is a 9-iron. Interesting page. I was talking to Jerry. He said Carlota, who works at meters, hits her clubs the same numbers that Annika hit them, except they're in meters. So he says it's really easy to adjust to.
Making it easy on the caddy.
Mm-hmm.
This whole location is one that wants to suck you in on the right-hand side. Carry a little bit of a ridge. She's got enough spin. She should be able to stop it pretty quickly if she carries that ridge.
That was pulled. She was taking a conservative line at the tree behind the green, but that was just dead pull.
No, that is position Z, as you would say, over there.
I haven't heard that expression, but I am assuming the opposite of perfect.
Yes.
And she knew, obviously, right away, this is a dangerous shot coming up for her because there's water on the opposite side of the pin if she's able to even go with the pin from that desert shot.
I have seen players get on that cart path left of this hole and go all the way down to the 9th tee. So that probably would be the worst place you could hit it, aside from the water or out of bounds. But Yulu's not thinking about that.
Aggressive tee shot here all the way to the end of the fairway, only 128 to the hole. And she's going with 9-iron, so this is going to be a little one.
Big firm bounce, but a little bit of stop on it. It's a tough hole, the 8th. Tough part of the golf course, 7 and 8. Let's go to 10, and Lydia Ko's second.
Whole location tucked on the left side of the green, really hard to get close to. Lydia does like to fade. This is an 8-iron.
The golf course is sort of drying out, Jim.
It's firming up a little bit. You saw this wonderful shot Nelly Korda hit in here at the 9th just to get to 18 under and her 4th birdie of the front 9 along with the bogey. Good read. Yeah, good solid putt. Expected that drive to have a short putt for birdie, and she does. Nicely done. She's 4 back. Up to 10.
Sun Hyun Park trying to bounce back after the double.
Oh, this from 110, she has a very good possibility of getting this one close. A little bit more information on that second shot, the last. The camera went off as she started her downswing, kind of put her off a bit, so.
You can see just how difficult that whole location is to get to with that ridge that Sun Hyun Park hit. As these firm out, it's only going to get more difficult.
Inbee Park, the defending champion, just finishing up. Inbee will be in the field next week at the Kia Classic. Less than 400 miles away, Aviara Golf Club. And Brooke Henderson at the 14th. Coming off birdie on the previous hole.
And this is a product of the greens firming out. You're trying to leave it short of the hole, land it just short of the green, and it's not going to give you any kick on the way up. Starting to get a little bit of a defense to this golf course as it's been really receptive this week. And you know, this event is about the founders, but it's also about giving back to the next generation. At the LPGA's Founders Cup, watching Brooke Henderson, this young lady received a signed golf ball. A big thanks to Brooke Henderson. Truly my golf idol. I think she's a golf idol of a lot of young women out there. Young golfers out there.
Hyoju Kim second here at the 9th. This just a moment ago. Perfect tee shot. 6 back. Needs to make some birdies. Get on a run. That's a start.
It's always good when the caddy yells, "Be right."
It is right. Yeah, that left for birdie. Ciganda over here at the 8th, Tom. She's in some serious trouble.
Yeah, she is. She's in an area 2 marked, formerly known as a hazard, in a new penalty area. Downhill lie on the rocks, although with the rules changes, no real difference in how you can play the shot and from the general area. But what she has to do is bounce it into the rough on the slope and get it to release up on the green. If you gut it a little much on that type of play, it's going across the green and in the water. Well, she tried picking it cleanly enough off there to fly it on the green. And all kinds of work remaining to get it up and down for bogey.
So big trouble for Carlota Ciganda, who has a 1-shot lead here in the final round of the Bank of Hope Founders Cup after terrific starts of the day with 4 birdies, trailing by 1 to begin the round, but looking likely to slip back and give the lead to Yu Lu. On number 10, Sun Jun Park for birdie.
And I had a chance to talk to David Jones about her putting, and we talked about it at quite length yesterday, about how she's been changing between how far away she stands from the ball and how close. And he was saying that this feels like she's being authentic to herself, standing close to the ball. It's just where she's more comfortable.
David Jones, a long-time caddy, and Carlota Ciganda still away.
Great touch around the greens, though. The Paige was referencing earlier, this is not the easiest shot. It's going to ricochet right off the spine that cuts right off the middle back of the green, straight down the center. And then from that point forward, it's a little speedy.
Go. That's a good touch. A little bit of work left there.
Lydia Ko for birdie at 10.
And this is a new putter for Lydia. She was taking the old putter a little bit out to in with her stroke, so this one gives her a much better stroke, and she's definitely rolling it well if she gives it enough speed.
Well, at this point in the round, you've got to start to be aggressive if you're going to win.
Yeah, 4 back. Although Ciganda is likely to drop, so there's a little bit of patience in picking your points where you can be aggressive. And like I said, the 10th hole, the way that this whole location is, a par is not a bad score.
Yeah, Yo-Ju Kim now for birdie at 9. Ciganda in trouble. Bringing a lot more players back into play, and she's one of them. A lot can happen on that back 9, those 2 par 5s. To 17 under. Let's go back to 8.
Yu Lu with the chance, Jerry, for a swing here in her direction, but this one I'm guessing she has to be careful with.
Yeah, at least a 2-shot swing if she's able to make an improbable birdie effort here. Turning right, and as you already have seen, very speedy down the slope.
No birdies today, Jack. No.
Still not guaranteed a par. And we will go to the 12th. Jessica Korda coming off that eagle.
Playing is one of the most difficult holes on the course. Narrow entry point into this green, but really in control.
Yeah, we're wondering who might break out of the pack to challenge that final pairing. It may well be Jessica Korda. And Ciganda has made just 1 bogey so far this week. That came on the first hole in the 2nd round. She's going to make at least a bogey here.
A good 5 feet here, sliding right as well. Pretty incredible. This 1 bogey through 54 and 7, 61 holes.
Jerry backing off that one. Are you seeing a change in the routine from?
Not on the greens. That's pretty standard part of the routine if she does it just the once after the practice stroke. But on the full shots, yes, 2, 3, 4 times the last couple of shots.
Good up and down for bogey for Carlota. Just 1 shot slips away. 21 under par, tied for the lead with Yu Lu.
We're back at the 9th hole. Lou will be next, coming off that par at the 8th. Good save.
Hold the cart.
Whoa, Nelly. Better listen. Co-leader now.
Trying to carry that bunker on the right would probably be out of reach today. It's about a 265 carry into the breeze. Just trying to take this basically left of one of the major columns of the beautiful JW Marriott, or essentially right there.
But it's time for Worth Talking About, presented by Consumer Cellular. And Paige, what is worth talking about?
I would say the final pairing. Players we're watching at the top of the leaderboard. And Carlota Ciganda, been a veteran on the LPGA Tour now with 2 wins. Played her college golf, as we've mentioned, at ASU, where they did win the NCAA championship in 2009. And Yulu also has an NCAA championship under her belt at Duke back in 2014. But in the second year on the LPGA Tour, still seeking that maiden win.
Worth Talking About, presented by Consumer Cellular.
Now Ciganda back on the tee. Jerry, she felt like the front nines kind of got her hands cuffed a little bit because she doesn't get to use driver. Doesn't look like driver here again.
No, it looks like 3-wood here. She also carries a 5-wood, but this looks like 3-wood. She could hit driver here, but it really narrows the fairway. Yeah, when you hit 3-wood like that, driver's just not necessary.
No, just going to get it in the fairway, give herself a short iron or a big bounce off that slope. So that ought to be perfect. We said that whole location we've seen on that left side should be pretty accessible from there to 12.
And Jessica Korda for birdie.
See if we can get a challenger coming out from behind the pack, coming off that eagle on the 11th.
That is a good run now. Jessica Korda birdie, par, eagle, birdie to 18 under. And she is 3 behind.
Lydia Ko's second shot here at 11.
Does have a bit of wind helping off the right. This is not a bad shot for her. There's on a slight downslope. She does like to hit a fade. That always helps getting the ball up in the air off of a slight downslope. I would say just got to land this about 5 yards short of the green and let it hop up, maybe even less than that. If you do that, you might have to take it a little down the right side. And this is a low chaser. It's going to have to chase really hard if it's going to get there.
It's trying, but it's going to bring the bunker into play. But it's going to be a tricky little bunker shot, Tom.
Yeah, not a lot of green to work with there for Lydia Ko, but right now it is Jessica Korda who's trying to break out of the pack. A great run to get to 18 under. Chase down Yulu and Carlota Ciganda.
Yulu's second shot here at 9.
Pitching wedge from 126. Good full, and this is a green light hole location. Just left of it.
Green light result. Looks pretty poised, Jerry.
Yeah, she doesn't look ruffled at all or stressed at all.
Hold up.
Coming off the tee box, there's one of her fellow players being hosted by a family in the house that's on this fairway, waving high and making them both laugh. Carlota now 120, gap wedge, a little one at that, 50 degree, slight downhill lie. Bringing it in low, probably one bounce and then comes screeching to a halt.
Nope.
We're only 2 weeks away from the first major championship of the season. The ANA Inspiration and the 2004 edition has a connection to Arizona State. The finish was one of the most thrilling in the history of the championship. 17-year-old rookie Ari Song, playing in just her third career LPGA Tour event, trailed by 2 coming down the 72nd. After getting onto the par 5 in 2, she made that eagle putt to tie the leader, Grace Park. It was then Park's turn to respond. That was for birdie to capture her first and only career major title. And where did Grace Park go to university and play her collegiate golf?
I'm guessing ASU.
Right here in the desert. We'll be making more memories at the ANA Mission Hills in a couple of weeks.
Washington's Husky here, Paige, Charlotte Thomas.
See if she can take advantage of this short par 4. Should be pretty straight coming up the hill.
Oh, why not?
You can actually see the wear mark in her putter, too.
Hopefully it's in the middle.
It is, and it's very, very small dot. I can tell you that much.
That's always a good thing. Back to the 9th, and these are 2 putts here to get to 22 under. Jessica Korda making a run at 18, so there's a lot of play, a lot of things come into play on this back 9 with 2 par 5s. Looks like Yulu will be first.
I guess so. I wasn't sure of that when I walked up there.
Yeah, they're both about the same, but it looks like she's...
Nope, Carlota's going.
Is she? Okay. Pretty close.
You've watched more putts on this green than I have, Jim, but I don't see much in this green.
No. This has been a tricky read. You've got the valley effect, and...
Valley to the right, but the general slope appears the other way.
Yeah, from what we've seen, it's maybe on the right edge, the inside, but there's not a lot to it. It depends on the speed. If we watched Sung Yoon Park on this line, but she hit it so hard that it went by. But like I said, not a whole lot.
Here's the thing to keep an eye on with Carlota now with a legitimate chance to win. Number 1, the stutter steps, which aren't happening on the green. She's feeling a little more confident, I believe. But also the speed. In the past, when she's been in contention and wasn't able to pull it off, a lot of times that ball just limps to the hole late on Sunday.
Well, as we mentioned, the 2 putts she did miss that were makeable were left to right. She's made the right to lefters, and this one, if it has any, should go that direction. So this to get to 22 under and a solo lead for now. Wow.
Well, she wasn't tentative on that one. And Jerry, when you were talking about speed, I was thinking you were talking about pace of play, because you can see she's taking her time now as we get later in the day.
Lydia Ko's third at the 11th.
That was not an easy bunker shot. It all fell away towards the hole and didn't have much room to work with.
No, you're right. Everything going away, Karen. Tough shot to get close. Now Yulu for birdie. Let's stick it to 22 under.
So you're looking at left of the hole or left side of the hole from here. This group has been warned to pick it up a little bit, which you'll get a hole or 2 grace period before they actually put you on the clock. Wow, never turned. Right where she wanted to hit it.
Yeah, that's that valley effect. So both missed chances, but Ciganda still has a little bit of work left.
Well, Jerry, I was talking about Peyton. Like I said, I thought you were referencing that when you said she's might worry about her pace.
The pace of the putts a lot of times, and that one just went off in her hands. But yeah,
have you noticed her slow down a little bit?
On the full shots with the stutter step, it's happening a little more frequently. Yes, this part right here is not any different, where she takes her practice stroke, steps away, gets up over it. But at times in the past, that stutter step has made its way to the green as well. I'm just saying, when the pressure gets highest, sometimes those putts don't go in with much conviction.
Yeah, and you fall back into those habits, the bad habits sometimes. No bad habit there. Good solid stroke. Very confident stroke. We'll take off to the 10th. Still a 2-way tie at 21 under. Great support out here in Phoenix. Take a look at this. Lydia Ko just 3 back. Brooke Henderson for birdie here at the 15th. She's 17 under, so 4 back.
This par 5 will be pivotal coming down the stretch. Hole locations all the way in the back.
We watched this page. This is a tricky read.
Yeah, this is where you might get a little influence towards the back of the green to the player's right, maybe a little left to right at this point.
Yeah, that's what she's looking like. When you walk up here, it looks the other direction, but that valley effect. Oh, great read. Yeah, great read. That's going to be a putt we're going to probably see misread, except for the players who've played here some. That's you got to do your homework. So that's her 6th birdie of the day. Now Lydia Ko for birdie at 11. Coming down the stroke. It shouldn't be much in this one.
No, she needs to make a move if she wants to challenge.
Oh, wow. Just hit it too hard.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
At this point in the game.
You got to take advantage of the par 5, especially on the back 9. Still 3 back now. Jessica Korda for birdie here at 13.
See if she can continue her hot run. It's par 3, not always considered a birdie hole, but good look here.
To the 10th, Yu Lu on the tee with our TrackMan Tracer technology presented by NEC.
Opportunity to see some of the drivers come out as the players approach this backside, this lead group, and I've been impressed with Yu Lu. We saw her playing with Sungkyun Park yesterday and how long she was off the tee. Carlota also a long player, so we'll be able to compare again the distances with these players, but she has not reined back whatsoever on those tee shots.
She's got some speed.
She does.
Averaging over 275 for 3 rounds off the tee.
Hold up.
And that measuring hole is 18, where it's been into the wind. Or one of the 2 measuring holes.
Carlota not going with the driver.
That's, I think, nothing more than an effort to leave herself far enough back to where she can spin it more with a sand wedge or lob wedge.
Holes on the back left, so on the right side of the fairway is as good an angle as you're going to get.
Ciganda and Yu Lu tied for the lead here at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. Ciganda looking to get into the top 10 in the Rolex Women's World Rankings. Back with Lydia Ko on the tee at the 12th.
Nice little friendly downhill wind.
Very good target, so it is.
Lydia is one of those players at 18 under that has time to catch the leaders. Time is running out for Jessica Korda. You feel like she needs to make another birdie. Oh, and she's going to give herself a great chance here.
Almost impossible to land it on the green and be short of the hole, as much as these have firmed out.
We'll go back to the 10th and Carlota Ciganda with her 2nd shot.
From 127 yards, a little bit of a downhill lie, certainly down breeze. You can get it close if you land it in the little upslope, the tier just short of today's hole location. I think she's going to have to re-grip her wedges after this week. She is just using them on every hole.
It doesn't hurt when you hit it as long as she does.
No, a gap wedge into 18 yesterday was ridiculous, though. That was monstrous.
And that was about as good of distance control as you can have to try to access this pin.
Well, Yu Lu trying to win for the first time on the LPGA Tour and join Celine Boutier as the first-time winner in 2019.
Which happens to be pretty much her best friend on tour as well. This from 109, not as quite as good an angle as Ciganda had. I think more importantly, though, for Yu Lu, it's not just being the 3rd player from Duke to win, but being the 2nd ever from China to win and be the inspiration to the next generation that she feels Chen Feng is already. That needs a sit.
Oh, did manage to sit. And now she's got a good chance for birdie. Jerry mentioned that relationship with Celine Boutier. And we talked to Yu Lu about how their careers have mirrored each other over the years.
Celine, it's been one of my best friends on tour. We were teammates for 1 year at Duke in 2014, and we won the national championship together. So that was quite an experience. And then we graduated from the semester tour together in 2017, and then we had a pretty good rookie season last year together. And this year, boom, she went ahead of me and already been a winner on tour. So yeah, just trying to follow her footsteps.
Motivation, do you think, Paige?
Well, confidence. I think if you see players that are your peers that are doing well, that you know you can compete with and against and are successful, then it gives you confidence that you belong at that next stage too. So I think in a lot of ways, yeah, they can be competitive with each other, but also gain confidence from each other's successes.
Yeah, Jin Young Ko now. This for birdie. Excuse me. For 3 coming down there. That's for eagle. It's actually for the eagle putt. Now, the next one is for the birdie. I was giving her the birdie. I think she was going to make it from there. Let's go to 12.
Lydia Ko, second.
This with a 7-iron has 150 to the front, 166 to the flag. It's a pretty decent line if it's enough club.
Climb that hill. Yeah, little bit of a false front right there at the beginning of this green. It's a challenge when they firm out, trying to place it exactly where it needs to release.
Nelly Korda for eagle here at the 11th. This to get to 20 under par and make it really interesting on the back nine. That's just a misread. But that left for birdie, so that's stress-free. Let's go back to 10.
Carlota Ciganda, what could be an important birdie. They're starting to, those chasers are starting to get close, Jerry.
Yeah, but again, if you have holes in front of you, even though the score might be tied, you're pretty much leading because nobody goes backwards out here, especially on this back nine. She'll have an iron into the next hole with a good tee shot. This one might move just a little left for Carlota, not a ton, slightly downhill.
Just moved at the end. Carlota has in the past looked to her friend Jose Maria Lozabal for help with her putting. They are from a similar place in the north of Spain. And she's had a pretty good relationship with that 2-time Masters champion. Jessica Korda for birdie at 14, trying to close the gap. And it doesn't go. Well, if you love golf, Golf Pass is designed with you in mind. Watch exclusive shows, tee it up monthly, and get 400+ hours of instruction from top coaches. And now you can try Golf Pass for free with a 7-day free trial. Visit golfpass.com. Back out to the 10th. And Yu Lu for the birdie.
This one now just ever so slightly uphill with a slight little bit of break to the right.
Aggressive.
Ooh, my, that's 4 feet past.
Yu Lu has worked on her mental game with another player's father. Cindy Feng's dad has helped her out with her mental approach on the golf course. These are the times when those thoughts and the lessons in how to handle yourself under the most intense pressure begin to pay off.
It's been pretty stress-free for her so far. So this
She looks pretty chilled out.
she does. But I think this is kind of when crunch time starts to happen, especially when you've now made a mistake and giving yourself this as your cleanup. Good birdie opportunity, and now you've got to save par.
Yeah, pretty easy to be rattled after letting that one go off in your hands.
No trouble at all. And as Jerry mentioned, China, the country that is just really beginning to get into golf. Already has a major champion in Shen Fang. Now looking for another winner on the LPGA Tour. This is Lydia Ko's third.
And she's under a bit of pressure in this group with Sunking Park. The rules officials are watching them closely right now to try to get them to speed up.
That was pretty poor there, Karen. And we'll go to the tee at the 14th and Bronte Law.
We saw Jessica Korda hit about a perfect shot in there. You just want to be able to carry that front part of the green, let it release. It's 11 paces on.
Soft.
You can see she's asking for.
Soft.
It actually landed pretty soft considering she probably tugged that just a touch. That's going to be downhill putt from there.
Back to the 11th tee. 5 eagles today, easiest hole on the golf course, so. Lulu will be next.
Over there. So white something. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Tee up 53 yards from what the LPGA calls the white line yardage, or as far back as they will ever put the tees, making this, a gimme, as you documented.
Like we saw 15 yesterday.
Exactly.
There's that arrow Jerry mentioned.
That makes the carry over the left bunker only 224 by my math, which makes it a non-factor down breeze.
That's the line she took it on. Actually, left of the bunker.
Oh, left and low. That needs to get lucky.
Well, got the path.
That's lucky.
Oh, that's heading towards the green. That is really lucky. That's at the crosswalk, and it's actually in the grass, so a huge break. Pretty easy to find that one for the Marshall. Now, Ciganda.
Carlota might start it on that same line, but with a little bit of fade. It is down breeze, but also a little from the left.
Remember yesterday, 15 was 479, had driver 7-iron, so this one's today 492.
Not really cutting, almost identical line.
And that one is trying to stay in the grass just past Yulu's, so both of them down by the crosswalk, not much into this green. Let's go up to 12.
And Lydia Ko with that long par putt. Which she makes. 3 under for the day, Lydia Ko. To Brooke Henderson at the 16th. You gotta think she's running out of holes here with only 3 to play and 3 shots behind. And I think her chances are coming to an end here pretty swiftly, but still a really nice week for Brooke Henderson. As we take a look at that first page of the leaderboard, Ciganda and Lou tied at the top.
You can take a drop.
Back at the 11th.
We'll just have to take a look to figure out your nearest point of complete relief. It's possible it might actually be kind of over here in the desert. Should take a glove and see? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that? We'll take a look.
Catherine Belanger with the USGA is official right there, helping out. There's Catherine.
No question her nearest is going to be where she's at right now.
Correct, not closer.
I think that's closer too.
Yeah, it's going to be closer, so we're working probably like right here. Yeah, make sure your swing isn't going to hit it.
While they're waiting here, let's go to 17 and Brooke Henderson on the par 3. Our first look at this par 3 today. Playing 146, whole location on that back right portion. She's just 3 back. That's a good start. As Tom said, she could run out of holes. There's a lot of holes left for those last few groups. So let's go to 12.
Nelly Korda has some time, Karen, to make up the difference.
She really does, and with her ball striking and confidence the way it is right now, I mean, anything is possible. And even though, you know, that was obviously she's disappointed leaving that short, the shot to the green was quite well placed.
Charlotte Thomas now for birdie here at the par 5 15th.
Got a chance to see this putt earlier, just on the inside left or left edge putt.
Let's see if she knows. Of course she knows. She did her
Ooh,
homework.
it actually broke a little more than I even read there.
There's some pretty good break to that putt. That gets her to 18 under, just 3 back. Let's go back to 14.
Bronte Law for her birdie. Bronte from Stockport in England, but now lives here in the Phoenix area. Big year for Bronte Law. She's got her sights set on the Solheim Cup in September, which you will see on Golf Channel and on Sky for our partners in the UK.
All right, back to 11 Ulu, Jerry.
188, definite tree trouble, some 15 yards in front of her. I don't think she's far enough back to go over it comfortably, even though it's not a very tall tree. Going around it and under it with a little low draw is what the shot calls for and can be easily done. However, judging just how far it rolls through the fairway and up on the green takes a lot of instinct and creativity. So much for that.
Yeah, she went up and over it.
That was a layup.
Yeah, well, probably the play.
I don't know about that. That was really not a tough shot to hit a little draw around there.
Yeah, just turn it in. Back to 12.
Jin Young Ko.
She was out of position off of her tee shot, played a really good approach to even have a chance at birdie.
No. We've got 2 Kos and 2 Kordas chasing. The Kos are not related. The Kordas are, of course.
We're going to go back to Ciganda at 11. Don't know that she took the drop.
I mean, there's a lot of room in under this tree. And if you just, you know, you're doing like a, just like a 3/4, you know, you're hitting it about halfway in the thing. You're starting it out at about her ball, right?
Yeah, like right off her ball
and then just let it draw and run up to the front, okay?
I like the play, easy to keep it low, easy to put a lot of draw spin on it, but the problem is this card pass is not that smooth. It's very rugged, almost like it has hail damage.
Right. You know, sometimes on that shot, I like to just aim it out to the right, just toe that toe in just enough to go and take your normal swing where you don't try to recreate something. Allow the club face being shut to curve the ball, because that's how you curve the ball.
She is the most creative ball striker on the LPGA Tour.
Curved.
Too quickly.
Yep. Catches the bunker. Short bunker. That's going to be an interesting shot. So she's at the shot she was trying to hit, Paige.
Yeah, that is not the place you want to leave it. Trying to be very aggressive with this, and you can see it playing off the back part of her stance and just putting a little too much curve. I think, again, this goes back to the fact that she can curve it very well and has the ability to shape it. And just overdid it.
Nelly Korda for par. Cannot go backwards, has to make this. She does. So Nelly at 19 under, looking to win her 3rd title in 8 starts on the LPGA Tour.
Now Jessica, 2nd shot at 15. Plenty of distance to get there. Just 3 back.
Just looking at that front part of the green, let it bounce on the way back.
Needs the big kick, gets it. Oh yeah. Trending towards the hole. What a shot right here. She'll have that left for eagle.
Almost impossible to get it right next to the hole. That's about as good as she could leave it.
Saw that wonderful shot Brooke Henderson hit here at 17, the par 3. This for birdie.
Quick stroke.
Yeah.
A little quick in that transition.
Might not have been comfortable on the read, and she'll make par. So she'll remain at 18 under. Now back to 11 Ulu, her 3rd.
little bit of an uphill lie right at 65 yards, and the breeze that was helping her this hole has kind of stalled, so that'll help. Front part of the green slopes toward the fairway, so you can get this one close.
Yeah. Got some slopes on both sides, but as you said, that first couple 2-3 feet come back towards her. First bounce had to have a pretty good bounce and then spin it.
And that's the challenge, having enough spin from that short of distance to control it.
Well, she doesn't know this, but her Duke Blue Devils snuck out a win over UCF by a point in the NCAA basketball, so it's good to be a Duke Blue Devil.
Don't picture her as a Cameron Crazy.
You never know.
You never know, though. Sure. Jessica for Eagle here at 15. She's got the read. She's got the eagle.
Yeah, she's got the momentum.
Yeah.
But she's running out of holes.
Maybe. Maybe. I like the way she's trending, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just one back. But you're right. There's plenty of golf left.
Never know.
2 eagles on that back nine. That'll get her done. Now, Ciganda, third shot. Not what she wanted, Jerry. The lip in trouble in her way here.
Oh, God, yeah. Right up against a pretty sizable lip, about 55 yards. If she gets this on the green, that will be a fantastic golf shot. So many bad things can happen from here. That's the predictable outcome, typically.
Yeah, comes up way short, so she's got that in her fourth shot.
So the first player not named Ciganda or Lou to get to 20 under par is Jessica Korda.
Siganda's fourth here at the par 5, 11th this just a moment ago.
Yeah, and if she were to land this on the top part, the level part of the green, I don't think she'd get it close, so try landing it into the slope.
Oh, wow.
She is making a mess of this par 5.
Another great week for Charlotte Thomas, who is a rookie this year and is looking likely to earn enough money not only to get into the ANA Inspiration in a couple of weeks' time, but to secure a card for next year.
Yeah, already with a top 5 finish at the Vic Open early in the season, playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Lou for birdie at 11. This just a moment ago to take the lead.
Doesn't do much, it doesn't appear.
She didn't look very confident on that. She's hit a couple putts that kind of come out of it, not quite the confident stroke. Now Ciganda for par, Jerry, on the easiest hole in the golf course.
Yeah, she's kicking herself over that second shot. She missed it wide right. There'd have been no problem at all, and just, that was a mistake, no question. But walking away from this with a bogey can be extremely deflating.
Especially with Jessica Korda making a run.
She came out of that.
Sure did.
She's been so confident with her putter the last couple of days. It's almost been a certainty.
Well, as Jerry said, that's like giving 2 away to the field. A huge mistake at the par 5. Sneak over to 16.
And Charlotte Thomas for a birdie. This would get her to 19 under par. And what a crucial hole that 11th is turning out to be for the final pairing. Everybody inside the top 9, aside from Lydia Ko, has made at least a birdie there. And these two players have not taken advantage.
No.
Which, Jim, is going to let a few players in.
It's let a lot of players in now. Nelly Korda for birdie at 13. You're right, Tom. There's 6 players within 2 now.
But I think you really have to... You're hitting little wedge shots are just a bit closer than Nelly did there. That was just a outsider. Good chance at birdie range for her.
Yeah, you're right, Karen, especially with this whole location. Probably one of the easiest to get to. She'll make par at 13.
I remember early in the week we told you the story of Linnea Strom, who is a rookie on the LPGA Tour, played her collegiate golf here in the desert at ASU, then went to the Symetra Tour, qualified for the LPGA, and was tied for the lead earlier in the week. Almost capping it off with a magical moment at 18. And it is going to be a top 25 finish for Strom. Most likely, Jim.
Yes, Jin Young Ko now for birdie at 13, Karen.
And she is a player that really knows how to make a lot of birdies, get the job done, but she does it in a very consistent manner. She's not really flashy when you watch her play, but much like Inbee Park, she can really sneak up on you when you're not expecting it. She hit quite a good wedge. It just didn't quite get the bite that she was expecting when it hit the green. Had a big first hop. But this one, I think, is actually quite makeable.
Oh, just got to wait for her on the right. A couple top threes already this season, but missed opportunity to 13th for this group. Christy Kerr here at the 17th. This for 5 in a row. This for birdie. She's going to run this weekend.
It's going to be a difficult one to make up the hill, around the corner. Good run at it. It's a heck of a way to finish. I think it speaks to the end of this back nine, how much volatility can still happen as players continue to make birdies.
All right, back to the final pairing. They've reached the tee at the 12th.
Light breeze out of the left, Tom, on what is typically one of the more difficult holes on the course. Elevated second shot into a firm green makes it really tough to get something close here. Typically, this started off a little left as well, but there's a lot of fairway over there.
Could be okay.
Yeah, once you get over those bunkers, no problem at all. Yeah, there's only one shot ahead now. I mean, there's obviously more golf to play for these two, but Ciganda's got to be a little bit rattled on a hole, Jerry, where she'd be thinking eagle, and she may double that score.
Exactly, yeah, and one bogey through the first 61 holes, 2 bogeys in the last 4 holes. Next couple holes will be very telling for Carlota. But that's a swing you can rely on.
Seemingly feels more comfortable to attack from behind. 3 times she's had the lead after the 3rd round of an LPGA event. She has not converted any of those. Her 2 wins came from behind. She was 1 back heading into the final round of the Lorena Ochoa Invitational when she won there. She was 5 back in Korea when she won. Back on the 16th hole, the second shot for Jessica Korda. She is now within 1 of the lead.
Just a wedge in hand, elevated green. Not a ton of green to work with, but enough. She should be able to, yep, there you go.
Wow.
Great control of her spin.
Yes, coming back from injury, Jessica Korda. Now to the tee at the 14th, Jin Young Ko.
And just an 8-iron for Ko. Breeze is slight into, and this looks on a pretty good line.
I'd say.
Great line.
Oh, hopping by the hole. Second at the 12th for Lou.
That was a very big 8-iron from 154. Lost it right.
Hates it. A mistake. Few mistakes in that final pairing. As we go to the 18th, and Brooke Henderson trying to finish off the week with a birdie. Pretty good try. And it's going to be another nice finish for Henderson, who's had 2 6th-place finishes already this year. Se-Young Kim. Okay. Playing alongside Jessica Korda. Se-Young Kim past champion here as we go to the 12th, and Ciganda second.
Just a gap wedge from 130 yards.
Average?
Below average, I believe, with that club in her hand. At this point, trying to get a little bit of momentum. 2 bogeys in the last 4 holes, knowing that there's birdies ahead.
Speaking of momentum, this lady has it. Ties the lead. Jessica Korda now 8 under par for the day. Remember when she came back from jaw surgery? She won on her comeback event. High five for the U.S. girls golf participant tending the flag.
I think so, right?
I wonder if we'll see some high fives when this is all said and done for Jessica Korda as potentially a winner on a comeback from the forearm injury, which, you know, she hasn't played much golf in the last 6 months, just really one event, the CME title holder.
It's extraordinary to see this movement out of Jessica Korda. A great round no matter what kind of day, especially on a Sunday, late, back in contention for the first time in a very long time.
And now we go to the 14th, Jin Young Ko for birdie.
And this is one of those putts that's going to want to slide just to the right.
Oh, tried to sneak away. The flag didn't keep the ball in the hole. The hole kept the ball in there. So Jin Young Ko is moving up to 20 under par, just 1 shot back. Strom for birdie at 18. Nice week, nice way to finish it off. Top 20 players on the LPGA Tour after next week's Kia Classic, not otherwise exempt, will get into the ANA Inspiration. For a player like Strom, that is a big goal, and the Czech this week will really help her get into that first major of the year, potentially. And now Nelly Korda at the 14th.
Yeah, this is for a par. Tee shot came up just a bit short, chipped up to here.
Yeah, good job.
So Nelly remains 19 under, 2 back of her sister, Jessica, who's tied for the lead with Yu Lu. And Yu Lu is putting for birdie here. Any idea what's going on? Have these players been watching the leaderboards? Yu Lu said she was going to.
Well, I haven't seen one on this side yet. I'm a little surprised, however, at this play from 4 or 5 feet off the green with the putter through an upslope, and then the entire green slopes away. But she chose that club for a reason.
Well, her distance control has been off on the putting green so far in the last several holes. So excellent to get one under her belt where she does get the weight correct on a putt, because that can really rattle your confidence when you've got the pace wrong on the greens.
Jessica Korda here at the 17th. She makes a hole-in-one, which she's been on a roll since that 2019.
Yeah, I don't like the other one at all.
No. All right. You got your target?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ford Ranger Lariat.
Still, if anything, coming a little off the right or more into.
A tiny bit, yeah, but not much.
Okay.
She wins that Ford Lariat. It's 4x4, 2-year lease. The way she's going, wouldn't be surprised to see this within 10 feet. Into the face of the slope, didn't quite release.
In between the two, I just didn't have a shot.
Over to 12.
Carlota Ciganda for birdie.
Gently downhill, very little break.
Trying to sneak in there. Just a 4 for Ciganda. She'll remain at 20 under, 2 under for the day, 1 shot back.
As much as we're making of Jessica Korda's run, our leaders aren't doing a lot in this course, and that's where the real opening of the door is.
The race to the CME Globe is on. Players accumulate points at every official LPGA tournament to make it into the CME Group Tour Championship. At season's end, 60 players will tee it up for a $5 million purse and the largest first place payout in women's golf, $1.5 million. The player who wins the tournament will also be named the Race to the CME Globe Champion. Follow the race all season long on LPGA.com and Golf Channel.
Jessica Korda here at 17. There's this leaderboard to the left. And she glances over. She has a pretty good idea what she has to do. She knows where she stands now. Let's take a look at our TrackMan Tracer technology presented by NEC. Yu Lu on the tee here at the 13th.
Pretty good breeze in on this hole. Hole's very exposed. It's also slightly from the left. This one's headed a bit right.
Yeah, yesterday was way left, but it's going to be up on the upslope as well. A little sloppy. Lost the last couple of full shots to the right. Now Ciganda will be next.
Well, there is a leaderboard at this green that you can't see until you get up to the green, so I'm sure they'll check it out then. But even if they don't know what's going on in front of them, they have to have assumed that. With the way the scores are year after year and day after day this week, they know somebody's making a run somewhere.
Yeah, especially after what they did at 11.
Yeah, good drive. Good girl.
Speed at 153, that apex at 74. So if it hits up on the slope, should release a little bit. There you go.
And this is a good opportunity for birdie for both of these players and kind of try to kick-start it. As long as they have a good lie.
Jin Young Ko now on the tee here at the 15th, the par 5. Move the tee back to normal distance at 528. Oh, that's the one-handed finish. You never like that, but it might be all right. Yeah.
Generous fairway.
Yeah, she just didn't hit it solid. She, I don't believe, could get there in 2 anyway.
Off my right.
Yeah, just off your right. The flag's on the green.
It's a busy week next week. Coming up, we've got 5 days of head-to-head golf. 64 of the best players from all over the globe will square off until only one is crowned champion. The WGC Dell Technologies match play begins Wednesday, 10:15 a.m. on PGA Tour Live. It'll be 2 p.m. on golf.
Now Jessica Korda for birdie here at the 17th. This to take a one-shot lead. A lot of things have changed in the last 30 minutes.
We were all operating on the assumption that the leaders would be continuing to make birdies, and since they've slowed down, it's pretty wide open, and Jessica Korda is about as hot as anybody.
Yeah, this putt swings a little left and then straightens out. Needs to go. Oh, man. It's a pretty solid putt. Kind of maybe a little bit coming up that slope, but was in between clubs on the tee page, and I think you just don't want to get too aggressive with this one, even though you're trying to make birdie.
Yeah, trouble was all along, so.
She thought she had it. It was right there in the jaws. Korda with just a par.
Back at the 13th, you lose. Tee shot caught the rough here, Jerry.
Well, if you call it rough, yeah. 131 uphill lie into the breeze. Pretty gettable hole location. That thing just launched miles in the air and is laboring to get there.
Oh, comes up short. She's come out of a couple iron shots, Paige, the last couple swings.
Just looked uncomfortable on her finish.
Yeah, Ciganda down here almost perfect.
Yes, a rare flat lie on this fairway as well. 98 yards going with a lob wedge. So she's going to pretty much give this a full treatment. Don't often see someone swing completely full at a lob wedge.
Some spin off that slope, gets it. Yeah.
She needed that.
Yeah. Maybe settle her down. Walking with a little more confidence maybe now. A little high 5, low 5. Up to 18.
Jessica Korda has reached the final hole.
Playing back into the wind, into the sun. Crucial to hit this fairway. And she's done just that.
Yeah, her last start, the CME Group Tour Championship in November down at Tiburon. What a wonderful comeback from Korda. Hyo-Joo Kim missing out.
.15, Jin Young Ko's second. This just a moment ago. She came out of that tee shot a little bit, but it's a good looking swing.
Aiming for that front part of the green. See if it can kick up. Big
Got a
kicks.
huge kick off that slope. Didn't quite think she could get
Wow.
there. But man, this is one of the best shots we've seen. So Jessica Korda hit it at a very similar part of the green, and a good chance for eagle.
And we'll go up to the 16th. They've moved the tee up a little today. And how about this play from Park?
I think this might be a little bit of frustration, not in the situation she wants to be in coming down the stretch, but I didn't see anybody going for this green today. It's completely guarded by bunkers, but I don't know if you could have threaded the needle much better than that. 290 yards today, just in front of the green. That's a good look.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you Lou, Jerry, she's got a lot of work to do. She's really kind of come out of it the last couple holes, couple swings.
She has, and this isn't the easiest one to judge. We've seen her struggle with the pace, as Paige mentioned a little earlier, on some putts. This one, about halfway there, all the way to the hole, starts going gently downhill. We've seen year after year this one get away from a lot of players, turning gently left. And to complicate it, putting directly at the sun.
Yeah, back at 11, got a little bit shaky with the follow through. Wasn't as good a rhythm to the stroke. She
really nice
it.
speed.
Yeah, very good.
Really soft arm hang on her putts. That helps kind of reduce the tension, brings the feel back into the hands, especially if there's any nerves going on.
Now Nelly Korda for eagle here at 15. Big slope, just about halfway there. Kick it out to the right, then it kind of straightens up and actually goes left at the end. But yeah, I agree. Very good putt. Judge of speed and distance. They get her to 20 under par. It's bunching up.
After we saw that separation with 3 shots, I didn't anticipate that we're going to see this many names in contention, but well, it's becoming pretty darn exciting coming down the stretch.
Yeah, mistakes by those leaders will do that.
Yep.
So she makes a nice birdie at the 15th for Nelly. Now Ciganda for birdie here at 13.
No, a putt like this, Jim, to go a long ways to putting at bay some of that scar tissue built up through the years, having come close and not been able to close the deal. And it's a simple putt. It's slightly uphill. If anything, left to center, but not much.
Get a great view right here from behind. Oh, wow. She's missed a couple. That one, I don't know that it broke that far. Looked like it just got away from her. Maybe opened it up just a little bit.
I don't think she was happy with that stroke.
No. Jin Young Ko now for eagle.
Seen this putt before, just moving from left to right, taking the valley.
It's for solo lead. It's taking the valley too much. Easy birdie for this group. Gets her in a 3-way tie.
It's been a good week for Charlotte Thomas. This is for par. She's in solo 6th at the moment.
Not a lot of movement to this putt. I love the pace on her putt, how she takes it back so slow. Takes a lot of discipline and practice.
Yeah, nice way to finish. The par at the last. It's going to be a check of around $50,000 for Charlotte Thomas. And I think she's earned enough money now to secure her card. And we will see how this rookie plays for the rest of the season.
It's huge for a rookie to get out and play a couple good weeks early in the season. A lot of less stress when you're learning all the new golf courses. Definitely for this player, obviously gaining a lot of confidence from it, which is huge. When you're a new player, trying to understand that you belong out here. It's a new stage. She's gone through every stage up until this point, college golf, Symetra Tour, now up to the big stage, and to perform so well early on.
Good for you. Do you know this gentleman? Right. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Sunjin Park, even par for today, so that really is going backwards with scoring the way it is, but she might make it illegal here. Little chip in. Wow. Still going to be an easy birdie. As the pair ahead say hello to the founders, Jessica Korda gets ready to play her second.
Well, and she absolutely tattooed that drive down to this point. And I think this is a nice little birdie opportunity with just a small little 9-iron in her hands.
Well, possible.
It's possible, and if she can post a number, make everybody else think about it.
Back to that final pairing at the 14th, Yu Lu.
8-iron. Hole playing the shortest it has all week. Most gettable, perhaps. Beauty.
That body language is very deceptive. I thought she was losing that to the right, but that is a good look for birdie.
She has that really rounded off flat, almost Justin Leonard-like follow through, so it fools you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Young Kim.
Jessica Korda walking up the 18th hole. When she was walking up to the 11th green, she was 7 shots back of Carlota Ciganda. She is now tied for the lead.
8 under with 2 bogeys on the scorecard. Just her last 9 holes, 7 under. And now an opportunity for another birdie. Like I said, at least post a number, get in the clubhouse and make them think.
Back to Ciganda on the tee at 14.
9-iron for Carlota.
Go, go.
This looks promising with enough club.
Lovely. Screaming for it to go in. It's going to be a tap-in birdie. So this final pair that have gone cold, they haven't had a birdie between them since the 7th hole. That may change here at the 14th. Back on the 18th green, the final hole, the Bank of Hope Founders Cup, and Jessica Korda trying to set a target in the clubhouse, Karen.
Well, and what a moment this would be for her with the comeback from injury. And should she be able to win this, doing it for the 2nd time after a long break, and that's pretty special golf.
And it's not going to sniff the hole. It's still going to be a great round of golf. Back on the 14th, Yu Lu for birdie.
What a great iron shot she hit, only to be outdone by Carlota. Slightly downhill.
Wow.
Ooh, boy, she's up and out of that so quickly, and then a good 3 feet past. The long putts are so good. The short ones, not so much.
We've got 2 quarters in with a shout here. This is Nelly, the younger sister, 2nd to 16. About the combined quarter, 41 under.
It's incredible how well Nelly's been playing all seasons so far.
So Yu Lu is further away with her par putt than Ciganda's tee shot.
She is. Didn't lose her turn.
Okay. Disappointing though. Few loose shots for Yu Lu. And Ciganda should just be a tap-in birdie.
Yeah, when you're struggling making putts, just hit it closer.
For Carlota, this is where she made her run yesterday. She was 5 under on her last 5 holes, starting here at the 14th. So a lot of good memories, even though she's kind of been cold up until this point.
Over to the 16th, second shot for Jin Young Ko, who's tied for the lead.
Karen mentioned it, she's not a flashy player, but consistent and unrelenting.
And Jessica Korda still needs to finish off the day. And talk about how difficult it is to come back and be match fit.
It's one thing to have your swing feel good, to have your putting feel good, but to be able to perform under pressure and to have the focus that you need to be ready for tournament golf, it's almost unheard of that you would have a player not only do it once, but potentially do it twice, as she has the opportunity to this week.
Okay, great round of golf, 64. Ties her lowest final round. Her lowest ever round on the LPGA Tour was a 62 last year during her win in Thailand. Will it be good enough? Will it be good enough? It looks unlikely.
But for her to finish off this tournament the way that she did with this round on Sunday, to be in a top 5 position after coming off a long break, the adversity she's come with this forearm injury that's been nagging. This is the same injury that we believe caused her to withdraw from the Solheim Cup just a couple of years ago. I think there's an incredible amount of positives to take away.
Kevin Kim from Bank of Hope standing alongside Marilyn Smith. Jessica saying hello to Shirley Spork. We have Stephen Coe, who's the honorary chairman of the board for Bank of Hope. He's sitting there alongside Marlene Bauer-Heggie. And then at the very end, the pioneer being honored is Laura Barr. There's Laura. Back out to the course of Jin Young Ko for 3 birdies in a row and to take the outright lead. Just a little disturbance there for Jin Young Ko, a player who has struggled at times on the LPGA Tour because she says she doesn't have the friends out here that she has on the KLPGA Tour, and isn't always comfortable. You don't see that in her golf.
No.
She looks happy on the course.
And that's the balance any professional golfer has. You know, inside the ropes is one thing, but outside the ropes and having balance in your life is another.
Oh, she'll be happy with that. Looking for her 3rd LPGA Tour win. Her first victory on the LPGA came before she was a member. Last year was her first year on the LPGA. She was the Rolex Rookie of the Year. As we go to the tee at 15.
Yeah, Ciganda's tee shot. She's played 15 through 18 this week, 7 under, so this has been a good stretch for her.
Yeah, and this is the most dependable club in her bag all week, and that's a beauty.
Yeah, that's got only 51 feet of apex. This got some roll on it right here. That's a good-looking tee shot. Back to 16.
Nelly Korda for birdie. That gets Nelly to 21 under par, 1 back.
Yes.
Now Yulu on the tee here at 15. She's only played these last 4 holes at 3 under for the week.
This one starts left. There's not a lot of room over there.
Oh, she got a great kick, Jerry. Didn't quite sneak. Yes, it did. Oh, nope, no, it did.
She'll take it either way.
Well, Jessica Korda has set the target at 21 under par. Will she get her hands on that trophy? We will find out as our coverage continues.
Volunteers are the lifeblood of every LPGA Tour event. The AXA LPGA Volunteer Service Award is created to honor a deserving volunteer at each tournament during the season. Someone who exemplifies the spirit of volunteerism and goes above and beyond expectations in their role. Meet our latest honoree.
17th tee, our leader, Jin Young Ko. This just a moment ago. This par 3 playing today, right at 146. 7 under on a round today.
This hole's as accessible as any pin location. Kind of back right.
Sit.
Back of the green goes away, but that should be fine. While we got a moment, let's send down to Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Jim. And Jessica, it was a pleasure seeing you back out here playing. And I think all of us at Golf Channel think that your superpower is coming back from injury and coming to contend in tournaments. How are you able to do that?
I honestly don't know, I'm always just so grateful to be out here and obviously playing pain-free at shows. I had a lot of rust at the beginning of the tournament and, I still obviously did not hit a lot of great shots out there, but it's slowly coming back together and that's what I'm so grateful for.
How much fun is it for you knowing now that your sister is a winner on tour and that you're out here competing together?
Oh, it's awesome. Already she's one up on me this year, so I gotta put my butt in gear. But it's been so great watching her, just not being able to play, not being able to be out here, just seeing how she carries herself and how she just represents herself has been fantastic.
Well, thanks very much for your time. Great job this week. Nice to see you back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jessica. Speaking to Nellie, here she is at 17. Just one back.
Go.
Just a little heavy. Did it release? Got up to the slope.
Stay there. The little low area down there.
Yeah, it stayed.
Stayed.
That'll work. That for birdie. Take a look at the lie here.
Where you want to be, instead of where you are not. The guy just the two flags. You see the two flags, the one on the right.
Is that those two bunkers? Or is it really bad over there?
Which one?
3 of them.
Which one?
'Cause I
Show me
can't
on it. Show me on it.
All 3.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it will be tough to up and down from there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's 220 minimum carry, and for everything it's 240.
It's just yeah.
Yeah,
I think someone
195 max. Max 195. That just. You can just hit like a 5 iron or 6 iron and just. Okay, I like that much.
Not a bad choice in this situation because the entryway to this green is so narrow, and if you miss it, those bunkers, as Axel said, it's just a really tough birdie and not a given par. So if you're going to play it safe well back from them, trying to take advantage with a good wedge. But I think the front edge of that green was within reach from 237.
Yeah, you just don't want that long bunker shot. The tricky part is where this hole's cut in that back left corner.
There's a little ridge protecting that whole location, so even if you do hit it up there, it's sometimes difficult to get your neck shot close, so a little bit better position with the layup.
Just looking ahead to next week, the LPGA Tour heads to the Aviara Golf Club in Carlsbad, California. Brooke Henderson, Stacey Lewis, Lexi Thompson, a few of the big names ready to strike at the Kia Classic. Our coverage begins Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Golf, and we'll welcome Judy Rankin back to our broadcast crew next week. Judy's at home watching. Send our best to Judy.
Thank you. It's nice to see you back out.
Now Ciganda's second shot blistered that tee shot, Jerry.
Yeah, a little bit of an uphill lie. 235, light breeze in. According to Terry McNamara, his signal is a high, soft 5-wood. He's an expert club signaler.
And a pretty doggone good caddy. And that's somebody, it's great in this position to have somebody out there that's seen so many great shots, knows how to finish a tournament off.
That's the big one right here.
Yep.
Needs to stay in the air on that line.
Oh, came up in the bunker. There's a huge hump between she and the hole. That's going to be tough to get it close from there. Jin Young Ko for birdie here at 17.
Got a chance to make it 4 in a row.
Yeah, this putt's been pretty slow, Pages, going back up that slope.
Find it. Find it.
So have that less for par. Sneak up to 18.
Shen Feng has had a great finish today. This is to get to 19 under and for 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. Yu Lu in contention. Shen Feng, her fellow countrywoman, finishing up with a round of 66. Shen really flying the flag for Chinese women's golf. First member of the tour from China, first major winner from China.
Nelly Korda for birdie here at 17. To get to 22 under. And the co-lead. I think it was a misread.
It was. The Valley effect took over.
Right now, Jin Young Ko leads by 1. Plenty of time left for those players on the course. Back on the 18th tee with the leader, Jin Young Ko. Karen, you've been busy today. You've now made your way back to the final hole.
Well, it's just one of those things, and but I've had the pleasure of watching some different players, which is always fun. Ko on this tee shot has to take it just a little bit more down the right side.
Just gonna scamper by those bunkers. Go back out to the 15th.
You lose third. She laid up here. This is a tough location to get it close to, Jerry. This is just a moment ago.
Just 70 yards, though. A little uphill lie.
Oh, what a follow through.
Pull back.
Yeah, that's going to go away. The green goes away. Yeah. That's the problem when you have to lay it up, getting back to close to that hole. Back to 18.
Now Nelly Korda, 1 behind.
Well, and Nelly with her power, she can actually take this a little more down the left side.
Players hitting it straight into the sun. That's why Nelly said she had no clue where it had gone. And we'll go back to the 15th.
Difficult bunker shot for Ciganda, her third.
This is doable if you just get it over the lip and let it trundle down the hill. Oh, there was no sound underneath that.
No, you could tell by the sound. That gets a good 25 feet past the holes, so tough putt for birdie. Tough lie there. Just short side yourself here with that big hump. Tough to get it close. Back up to 18.
And Lydia Ko for birdie. Her putter has just gone cold on this back 9. She's had all pars since the 8th hole. And that one just slides by as well. Going to be a top 10 finish for Ko. Always a great week here at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. I want to say thank you to Scott Wood, the tournament director. Todd Norton, great work from Todd and his team with the golf course. Remember, they use 2 different golf courses. And Jeff Johnston, the PGA professional here at Wildfire Golf Club. The youngsters out watching US girls golf, a big part of the LPGA Tour. Let's go back to 15.
Yeah, Ciganda for birdie, Jerry.
Yeah, she's going to go ahead and putt while Yulu waits for a ruling from just off the green near a valve control box. Sliding a little right on her the whole way.
Wow.
What a good putt that was.
Yeah, both par 5s on this 9, both reachable for her and makes par. And that's just giving up 2 shots to the field. In her case, she made bogey at 11, so almost 3 shots to the field. And that is painful. Take a look at this reaction. Oh, man. Thought I had it.
This is for every girl who's ever been laughed at or told she doesn't belong.
This is for every girl who's been told she's too loud, too quiet, too this or too that.
This is for every girl who thinks her body isn't good enough.
This is for every girl who feels she doesn't fit in.
This is for every girl who's been told that success and kindness are 2 different things.
This is for every girl who's been told to give up.
This is us crushing it for you, so you can crush it for the next girl.
Back in the fairway at 18, Nelly Korda and Jin Young Ko battled it out at the ISPS Hando Women's Australian Open earlier this year. Nelly got the better of Jin Young by 2 that week. Right now, Jin Young is 1 ahead of Nelly Korda. And Karen, she's getting ready to play her second right into that setting sun.
Well, it is. She has a fairly nice number, 149. This is an A time. And I think during that final round when Nelly won, she really overcame a few hurdles and she kind of dug really deep. And I think really showed everybody watching what she's made of. I think she's a great competitor, and the future is very bright regardless of how this turns out today. Ball is above her feet.
Asking for it to come left, and it is. And she's one behind.
After getting relief from that sprinkler head, Yulu for birdie to get to 22 under.
Up the hill from off the fringe.
Oh, yes. Can you say birdie? Nice putt. She gets to 22 under. Two-way tie now.
Lou is tied now with Jin Young Ko, getting ready to play her second at 18.
Initially, she had the 8-iron out this, but she did make a last-minute adjustment. She has 143. She has gone down a club to a 9-iron. Again, ball is above her feet. I think the switch is. I think she might be feeling just a smidge of adrenaline right now.
It's a big 9.
It's online.
Wow.
Pretty big hop.
Huge hop.
Today's coverage is brought to you by JW Marriott, proud host of the 2019 Bank of Hope Founders Cup. And by CME Group, how the world advances.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Beautiful views from the hot air balloon this morning out over the desert. Now, as the sun begins to set, Jin Young Ko and Yulu tied for the lead here at the Founders Cup. And Yulu on the tee at 16.
Been a little iffy off the tee shots, but here clubbing back in a pretty generous fairway. Clubbing well back, actually. Now you just hope for a little uphill lie to make the next shot easier to spin.
Like the tower.
Yeah. You know, I like it ending up almost at the pin.
Right at the pin.
I like it ending up at the pin.
Ciganda would have the length to hit the driver on the green like Sun Hyun Park, but no need to take that risk.
Little different circumstance.
Yeah, like Paige was saying earlier, that's a lot of risk for very little reward.
There's that stutter step you were talking about, Jerry.
Not as bad as I've seen it in the past. She's growing as a player, no question about it. Experience pays off in time, I guess. I can tell you, none of the other members of the LPGA Tour want to see her name on the leaderboard when they're playing well, because they know what she can do with a golf ball.
That's just fine. And we'll go up to the 18th hole, where Jin Young Ko has left herself further than she wanted for the birdie, Karen.
Yeah, and I think, you know, she went down a club, so that was a good move on her part there, but this putt's not that easy. We saw Korda's putt come up a bit short. That's because initially it feels like it's downhill, but then it comes back uphill at the hole. And that could be one of the reasons why her shot just ricocheted with that big bounce. It just pitched on a little downslope. Ko has I think, a very standard looking putting stroke, very smooth. Don't normally see her make too many mistakes on the greens.
You can just see the young lady from Girls Golf walking onto the green to take the flag out, but realizing that Jin Young Ko actually putts with the flag in. A very confusing new rule for the flag attendees this year.
And I still think for us watching, it's It's a little disconcerting at times as well. We all remember the old rules.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great, though, as a spectator. If you're out there and you can't see the hole from off the green, it is nice to have that reference point.
No doubt about it. Ko, a player who wasn't really sure that she even wanted to play on the LPGA Tour when she won her first event in Korea. And I think it is a very big adjustment for the players.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen for the players behind, but this would certainly go a long way in sealing a third win. Not quite dead, but should be a 4 to secure 22 under par in the clubhouse and knock Jessica Korda out of winning, or potentially winning. Of course, Nelly Korda still has a chance to get to 22 under par and keep her hopes alive, assuming that Jin Young were to knock that in. You've got Yu Lu out on the course at 22 under as well. Much happening. Jin Young has, as Karen mentioned, talked about being a little homesick in the US, missing her friends back in Korea. Here's Nelly Korda, who's had such a terrific start to the season.
And I think it's that experience that she had in Australia that she can really draw on now, knowing how tough she had to hold on coming down the stretch to fight off the player who is leading right now and who she's playing with.
Got to think that this is to have any chance. It's agonizingly close.
Just a touch more pace.
Still a great week for Nelly Korda. Continues a fine season. She has a bet with her sister every year, and on the line is usually a very expensive purse or bag. Last year it was a duffel bag, and Nelly was happy to take it from Jessica. Now, Yu Lu, second to 16.
Sand wedge from 92 yards had a downhill lie, which was not optimum.
Right.
Still birdie try coming up for Yu Lu. And now this putt to get into the house at 22 under par. Looks a little longer from that angle, Karen.
Just over 2.5 feet, I believe. Dave Booker, our caddy, put the flag in very carefully, making sure that it wasn't angled towards her.
That's the new target, 22 under. And will it be a third LPGA Tour win for Jin Young Ko, who has 10 wins on the Korean LPGA Tour, the 23-year-old, and already this year a second and a third as we go back out to the 16th and Carlota Ciganda.
Pretty full lob wedge from 91 yards. Hands on the spin.
Big bounce. Birdie tries coming up for that final pairing, but Nelly Korda coming up so close there on 18 as they say hello to the founders. This was the putt that could have put Nelly into a playoff. Caught a lot of the hole, just wasn't high enough. So just a moment ago, Carlota Ciganda to tie the lead.
The putt that was going to break gently right the entire way.
So she remains at 21 under par, one back of Yu Lu, who has this for birdie. Does she hold another one? Lu, 22 under, tied with Jin Young Ko, who has finished her round. 65 for Ko.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, who will join the list of winners here at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup? It's an impressive list. Recent champions will take you back to Kari Webb, who came from 6 behind to win in 2014. Hyo-Joo Kim, the winner in 2015. The only player without a major on the list of winners here is Se-Young Kim, Anna Nordqvist a couple of years ago, and In-Bee Park, adding a Hall of Fame member to go alongside Kari Webb as winners.
Yu Lu as she heads to the 17th tee. Back at the first round. This is the birdie attempt right off the fringe. Get a good break from right to left. Rolling nicely. There you go. There's birdie in the first round. This is yesterday's round. This also for birdie. Breaking putt from left to right's been tough to read. Snuck it in the corner, so she's had some success on this hole, but there's only been 12 birdies today on this hole. 7th toughest. This whole location tricky to get to.
Yes.
I hit that one first.
Yeah, I know. I think it's easier to read to 39 than the easy 8. We're looking for the shot for 140.
Sounds like she's taking the longer the club.
Yeah,
backing off.
You hear players talk about getting the right numbers, meaning the right yardage to fit a club. She's right between the 8 and the 9. She's going with the 8.
Well, she's come out of some shots, so I like her going with the swing. She's comfortable with the full swing. The problem is if you get too aggressive here, that portion of the screen kind of goes away.
Yeah, short seems like the better play. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it hits right into the hump, but that's not too bad a leave. It's just a right to left putt. Good solid iron shot. Don't want to get too greedy with this whole location back there, that back portion.
You like it, not sorry? I like aggressive. Start slightly on the right, let it go. It's a good club.
Ciganda will be next.
This is gonna be a pretty good swing. Pitching wedge.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. She can de-loft it, though, as good as anybody. I mean, she can make the ball go high, low, left, right. But this one's going to be pretty steep angle of attack and a pretty full swing.
Well, knowing that she's going to get a lot of spin, it lets you be a little bit more aggressive. Whereas hitting a little partial shot, knowing you're not going to have as much spin, dealing with the release, there's definitely advantages to swinging full.
That was a double back away. Step away.
And good news here. I don't think there's any chance this gets past the hole unless she blades it, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Go, go!
Left of the hole down towards that swale.
Oh, a bit unlucky. That carries another 3 feet, but that's a good leave, though, Paige. She's got a good chance for birdie.
Yu Lu tied for the lead. Ciganda at the moment needs to find a birdie to get into a tie at the top. Jin Young Ko just keeping the putter hot.
Back at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup. What a great sight seeing these young girls out here. Watching some great golf, watching this finish. Good to see the excitement in their eyes. Yu Lu will have a chance for birdie to take the lead, Jerry.
Yeah, not the easiest putt to read, but you never know. Strange things happen at moments like this, even though her best putts have been from off the green or from long range. Medium range here, it looks like it goes a little bit left. putting through all kinds of long shadows, and you're hoping the spectators don't move their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing when you're nervous, it gets the feeling in your hands. That's where you feel the nerves sometimes when you're putting. And so far, she's been pretty solid. The last putt, though, she left short.
She's had some distance control issues. Yep. I think just watch the elbows. If they can be relaxed enough, it a lot of times indicates the actual grip pressure.
Held her finish nicely.
Oh, just fell off the table. That was a good stroke. Just didn't quite get it started out far enough. A little bit of rhythm to the stroke.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're nervous, it actually is easier to be longer strokes because it's a little more fluid. And, you know, we talked about how she was influenced by Lorena Ochoa as a junior golfer. Now she's got the opportunity
Girls
to
Golf of
influence
Phoenix were into it.
so many other young girls.
Absolutely. It's just great. I've got daughters. It's great to see them. Now Ciganda for birdie.
Slightly uphill, turning just ever so slightly left, Jim.
Biggest thing here is just to commit.
She's been in this position more than any of the other contenders right now. That was awful.
Wow.
Hit way up on that.
Just completely collapsed through impact there, Paige.
Yeah, it looked like she caught the top half of the ball.
Been real comfortable.
She needed it. That's, I mean, we've got one hole remaining. That was a great opportunity for birdie.
Yeah, it's just like we said, those par fives have just destroyed her chances. Not that she still has a chance, but just kind of taking her momentum away.
Well, she was waiting for the back nine so she could use her driver, use her length.
Hadn't taken advantage of it. You lose, though, hanging in. Good solid par. Short walk over to the 18th.
The final pairing will take the short walk over to the 18th tee. Jin Young Ko waiting after that round of 65 to see if there will be a playoff. She's just on the putting green, which is not too far away from the 18th hole.
It's safety. It's inside the ropes. You can be by yourself, take in the moment, stay focused, stay in it. I think in a situation like this, the last thing you want to do is leave. Let your mind start to be distracted. There's something about the serenity of practicing by yourself that kind of helps keep you in that focus.
Take a look at our TrackMan Tracer technology presented by NEC on this final tee shot for Yu Lu. A 4 to get her in the playoff, a 3 likely to win outright. That's a drill we haven't quite seen there, Jerry.
Yep, unsure what the purpose is other than right now there's a fair bit of nervous energy, heart's racing, mind's racing, and you got to try and quiet it all down. This is one of the more demanding tee shots on the back, although not brutally tough, but demanding. Sets up ideally for a little draw, but she hasn't hit that shot on purpose a lot today. Pulled it just a little bit. I think it's going to be good.
That's pretty good.
240 carry. I've been impressed with her length, and in spite of that being a miss, maybe that pull gave her a little bit extra, but Jerry, it's been a little shaky for her, it feels like, but she's holding it together. I mean, still bogey free, but
yeah, it's been a bit of a seesaw. Now Carlota has to make birdie. Hit the longest drive of the day here yesterday.
Bit of nervous energy there, backing off a couple of times.
beauty.
Rips it down there. And Ciganda must make a 3 because Jin Young Ko is already in the house at 22 under par. If there is to be a playoff, they will begin at the 18th hole, then go to the 17th, and then back to 18, and so on. But let's see who's up to the challenge presented by Prudential, and it is Jin Young Ko. And let's take a look at some highlights from her final round. This at the second hole page.
Well, we talked about how important these par 5s were on the golf course, and so many of them reachable for these players, not just a little up and down for birdie.
On the tee at 14.
A location in a position that was very accessible for the players today, just in the front. They're taking full advantage.
She would get to 20 under par, 1 shot back. She would go on a run, 3 birdies in a row. This is where, if she ends up winning, this is where she won it, these 3 holes.
Without question, the finishing stretch and the 16th with that elevated green makes it a little bit more challenging, but with wedge in hand, able to control the spin and give herself that birdie look.
Up to the challenge presented by Prudential, Jin Young Ko, the 23-year-old in her second year on the LPGA Tour. She fittingly won the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year award last year. Louise Suggs, the founder of the LPGA Tour, passed away a few years ago, and the Rookie of the Year honor is named after Louise. There are the founders watching from their vantage point behind the 18th. And these are the Korda sisters.
Did you get nervous? No. I have it on video. It's on Instagram already. Hi. That one hurt. That one hurt my heart. That one hurt my heart.
Both finishing on the same score.
Perfect speed and everything.
I think they're referencing the putt that Nelly missed on the final hole that would have put her at 22 under as well.
It was like left edge, and then when it like lipped out, I was like, I had that basically happened to me on 17, and then 18. I thought I was like in the shadow putting back because I didn't have a club, and I left it like this short because I thought it was downhill. Yeah.
You think they talk about golf over dinner sometimes?
I love reliving the play-by-play with those two, especially when they're both playing so well.
Now, Yulu.
It's 134, 132. Lie or not? Flat?
Uphill lie.
Yeah.
Say something 35 foot?
Yeah. 30? No, 35. I'm more on 35 than 30. You can trust 35, easy. Is a touch a win in 2?
What's the pin number? What's the number to the pin?
The pin is 137. Okay?
I agree with Axel. I think this is just the ideal club. Smooth 9-iron. He said 137. I got 136. Either way, still not easy to get it close to that front hole location. Slight uphill line might help, but the greens are firm.
Go. Go.
Just enough of a ridge, and then there's several holes like this throughout the golf course. You've got to carry it on that front number. You're not going to get any help if you're left short of the green, and now she's got to get up and down for par to stay at 22.
Carlota Ciganda needs a birdie.
A bit of a downhill side hill lie, complicating the shot from 125 yards with a pitching wedge, a soft one.
Whoa.
Yeah, the lies a little left to right, the wings a little right to left. Just right at it's good.
Well, you called it earlier in the round, Jerry.
Seen it a few times. That's on a good line. Just left.
The bounce was firm, but she's got a chance, and she needs to make it to be back to the Founders Cup. This is a tradition here at the Founders Cup. Members of the girls golf program walking on the 18th fairway. The program was started here in 1989 by Sandy LeBeau in this Phoenix area, and it now involves 80,000 young women who learn the game, and what a great game it is. Yulu with a chance to win it right here if she can chip it in, Jerry.
That would be unexpected. Little uphill lie. Practice round. This is a basic shot, but this isn't a practice round. Probably the most nervous she's ever been playing golf.
Just a little too much on the way through, and that's where when the nerves come into play, a lot of times your hands take over, the club explodes into the ball. Like Jerry said, it's pretty straightforward if it doesn't mean anything, but when you start to lose feeling in the hands, when the blood starts to pump through your fingers, it can take on a whole new meaning.
A few wedges for Jin Young Ko. She obviously won't know exactly what's going on here. And right now, 2 putts need to be made if we're going to see a playoff. Yulu has to make her putt to stay at 22 under par, tied for the lead. Carlota Ciganda needs to get to 22 under par.
Jerry, was Carlota ever able to get a little bit of a read off of Yulu's chip as it went by the hole?
You know, it was a different angle. She was watching it, but a totally different angle. The good thing about this putt is there's not a ton of contour to it, and it's all in the shadow. Easier to read than being half obscured. Nonetheless, if she's able to get this one to go down, I think you'll see an emotional fist pump or something out of her that we rarely see. Because she knows, she feels like she let this one get away today so far. If this doesn't go in.
Her last putt on 17 was one of her worst of the day coming out of it.
Disappointment for Carlota Ciganda. Remember, she was 22 under par when she stood on the 8th tee, but she walks off the 18th green at 21 under par, and it is going to be one shot too many. On a day where the final pairing had it in their grasp, but they just seemed to lose the momentum on the back nine and let the rest of the field in with a chance. Yulu now finds herself on this 72nd green, needing to make this putt just to get into a playoff with Jin Young Ko. Well, she talked yesterday about feeling more comfortable in the final pairing, something that she hasn't been comfortable in her past experiences. We're playing alongside Sun Hyun Park yesterday, the world #1, competing with her, beating her, and she's used that confidence today, and she's been right there, but now has to make this to keep her chances alive. doesn't fall. Heartbreak for Yu Lu. But it is celebration time for Jin Young Ko. Another win on the LPGA Tour.
I don't need to practice anymore.
You don't need to practice anymore. It's over. A final round 65 for the 23-year-old. And she adds the Bank of Hope Founders Cup to her win at the KEB Hannah Bank Championship and the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open.
Done. Just for practice. Thank you. And it was impressive display. Consistent all throughout the day. Nearly flawless in that she was also bogey-free. But more importantly, the finishing stretch. She played so well, and that's what we were missing from some of the leaders that we were expecting to play better.
This was pretty close, wasn't it? It's a couple of putts that almost dropped. Remember Nelly Korda and Yu Lu. Always hanging out to the right, trying to edge back. Yu Lu with a bogey on 18, her only bogey of the day. As we take a look at the leaderboard, and this is how it finishes. Jin Young Ko is a winner, and she is with Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Tom. Jin Young, three-time now winner on the LPGA Tour. At the start of the day, you were 4 shots back. Did you believe that you could have a chance to win this trophy today?
Never know, just never. I didn't think about win for today, so I had really focus on my game, and then I'm just tried shot by shot, and then no thinking about the future, just like now. So, amazing day. Yeah, thank you.
Is it more special because you were able to win in front of the founders of the LPGA?
For sure, because I won last year at Australia Open, and then 1 year more later now. So it's a really good for. Yeah. And thank you for founders.
Brilliant. Many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
To you, Tom.
Thank you, Karen. And let's update you on the standings for the race to the CME Globe. Nelly Korda remains out in front, courtesy of her great play this year. Jin Young Ko with a win, a second and a third, as she moves up 5 spots as we head into a busy part of the season. Coming up next, Golf Central with highlights and analysis from the Valspar Championship. The LPGA Tour returns to Golf Channel when first round coverage of the Kia Classic comes your way Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Paige, it's been a great pleasure to be with you. I know you've got some maternity leave coming up. We will see you when you're back.
Thank you, Tom.
Later in the year. It's been great to have you with us here at the Founders Cup. Many thanks to our birthday boy, Jim Gallagher Jr. And out on the golf course, Jerry Foltz and Karen Stupples. From me, Tom Abbott, it is goodbye from Phoenix, where Jin Young Ko is a winner again on the LPGA Tour, the champion of the Bank of Hope Founders Cup.